Last night with Chucky gave a lot of credit to the new guys. He said this team needed the new blood, whether it was the offseason guys, the deadline guys, but kind of how those guys refortified this team's hunger. In your mind and in your position, how different was it going from trying to build a champion last year to trying to fortify a champion, like a team that's already champions this year?
Probably, if you look back, it's been sort of fortifying throughout the whole process, right? So you've got Sasha, who's it's almost become like a planet, right? The energy that comes from him, and then and Eki and Bob and the guys who are here, and so it's always been sort of supporting and adding, and so that process has been part, or that function has been part of the process for a number of years. A lot of the success in this year's playoffs is these individuals who have come together in those support and in the depth roles and accepting where they are. And you don't know who's going to be in the lineup one night from another. It can't be overstated, the character and the I don't know if it's the right word, the grace of each guy. So if you came into the meal room, you wouldn't know who's who. You didn't know who scored the winning goal. You didn't know who didn't play. And I think that, as much as anything, is the testament to those guys.
Bill,
you probably don't need the mic. I know that's kind of like a business or
formality.
A career.
But Bill, you guys are on a deep run, obviously heading to another Cup final. Charlotte is on a deep playoff run. How important is that success up and down the organization and for everybody to be a part of winning environments?
It's unbelievable, and the guys have done such a good job. Quite frankly, we're so blessed to have. And again, it resembles the same kind of spirit or interaction as the players or the coaching staff here or the pro scouts, the way they work together. You got Paulie Kropelka, you got Gregory Campbell, you got Chubb Z, Brett Peterson, and they're supporting Jordy and the staff. The Charlotte people are supporting our guys, and I mean, kudos to them and full marks for everything they've done. And you'll hear from them, and you'll hear from the players. The culture is the same, right? Come in, be part of it, work hard, have fun, enjoy hockey, get better, and yeah, we're thrilled. We're thrilled.
I need you to get philosophical for a second. So it's been a really long time since a team made the Cup final in 3 straight 82-game seasons, right? And other teams have really good players, and other teams have really good coaches. But from your view, like, what is it about this group that was special, that allowed them to do something that hasn't been done since like the 1980s?
I'll probably piggyback on a theme that it's not a theme, I think it's the truth. It's just the way it is. The core of this group is a function of our best players, our stars. And it starts with Sasha. Paul's talked about this, I've talked about it, the players have talked about it. The only person who doesn't talk about it is Sasha. But how caring he is as a human and as a teammate, and how it forces you to be better. And Matthew's the same in his way. Rhino's the same in his way. Aaron Ekblad is the same. And Bob, you pick a guy, and they all mirror that team first, you first character that Sasha. It starts with him, and I think he makes you want to be a better teammate and a better person, and then it's easy to have the positive aspects of your personality or of who you are as a member of the team. It's like it pulls it out of you.
Is that untypical of other teams
I don't know. In the 80s, I was a kid. I don't know. I can only look and point to our group. Maybe it's appreciation. I think they appreciate each other. I think they appreciate the opportunity. I know that they appreciate all that's been given to us to allow us to try to succeed. The Violas have empowered us to try. Look, we screw it up, for sure. We make errors. But we try, and we're able to try to do it the best way that we know. And I think the players feel that, and in turn, it comes back. Paul and the staff, same thing, right? They're giving you their best coaching they can possibly give you. Our scouts, they're the best analysis they give. And yeah, we're not perfect at all. And we have to be better, like in life, right? But it's, I don't know. I think that there's an appreciation for what they have, and that maybe fuels it, and it kind of becomes circular. So there's your philosophical, the egg.
Bill, what did you do when you come back from the game last night? What are you moving ahead, or are you allowing yourself to enjoy this night?
No, I kind of started. Once the game ended, I tried to get some intel on possible travel, make sure that some of the logistics things were starting to be considered. When we came back, got something to eat. That should be no surprise, looking at me. Paul made an interesting comment. If you looked around the room, all the players were there, and it kind of circles back to an earlier question. It was all mixed. It was just our team. When you see them, it's a team. There was no way to define the tables. There's no cliques. It's everybody enjoying everybody else. From Train Anderson sitting with Sasha and Chucky to it looked like a community.
The other thing is how. So you wake up this morning, you're already moving on. You moved on last night, I guess, to what's next, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's sort of. How is this different than the other 2 years you've been here?
I don't know if so. Remember when we came in, we hadn't made 20 years. I don't even know.
25.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
And so, you're in the playoffs. Awesome, right? And that was exciting and fun. And then it was important to win a round. We'd never won a round. So when we got past Washington, it was like, oh my goodness, right? Oh, hugs and yeah. And so I don't think that the elation or the appreciation for the moment diminishes. I think perhaps the way it manifests itself, it's just channeled differently. And I think too what comes with it is respect. Respect for your opponents. Respect. I mean, that's a good team, Carolina, right? And they're all good teams. And so I think that level of respect and appreciation for where you are, in tandem with the hunger, you want to do it again. Like you want to do it again. So what can we start doing now? Don't stop. Don't get content. I mean, those guys, they woke up with 100 texts each from everyone telling them how great they are. Everyone did. And it's not over.
You don't like being patted on the back? Everybody's getting patted on the back now?
I think everybody likes it, right? When people are kind to you and say things that are nice, but we learned. It's the journey isn't over, and there's work to do, and we have to be focused in that and keep your eye on the goal. Don't let success get in your way.
Bill, along those lines, what you're doing is unprecedented. 10 out of 11 playoff series wins. Do you look back on that experience in the Cup final 2 years ago against Vegas often as a learning experience? You put that aside. How do you kind of use that maybe as, for lack of a better word, fuel now?
Yeah, that's a great point, Goldie. Frequently, and it's not just in the final, right? It's so these lessons that we learn along the way. Some of them are just practical. How and when to travel, setting up a meal room, dealing with the media, not burdening guys with too much, including everybody, eliminating distractions. All these things, they just keep you particularly for me, because I don't do anything, right? So I'm in the way a lot, and so you have to be careful. Should I go? Am I, So I think all of those experiences are invaluable. They help. I listed a few instances of where we reflect on them and practically, apply that which we've learned from the past, and then appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity that's in front of us, and don't take it for granted.
Bill, we're at the point now where in South Florida, if you walk around with the Panthers logo on, typically someone says something to you, like great game, go Cats. It's a conversation starter now. During this time you've been here, been All-Star, 3 Cup Finals appearances, 1 Stanley Cup, Winter Classic next year. Just how have you personally seen the market kind of explode, especially now knowing we got a couple days for probably a big build-up down there before the final begins?
Well, we came in during COVID, so it was a little strange, right? And so it's kind of grown exponentially. And what I see is what you see. It's really nice. The license plates you notice a lot. In the Keys, you see lots of Panther flags on the boats, which is because you never saw any, right? Or if you go in there for a fish sandwich, there's something in the bar or in the restaurant. In the supermarket, people will recognize you. Does anyone say supermarket anymore? Sorry. So it's grown, and I think it's fun. I think it's fun. Like, that's the thing that I get from people, perhaps who haven't been to Panther games, or they come from out of town, and maybe you guys get it. It was so much fun. It was so great, and it's a nice feeling, and I just hope we can keep growing it. And there's a lot of work to do, and we'll just keep doing it, keep trying.
I was curious. Obviously last year with Reinhardt, he goes through and then signs to stay. You have Ekblad and Bennett, both pending UFAs. I was just curious from your perspective, like that dynamic of, I don't know, maybe maybe there's already ink on the contract. I don't know, but I'm intrigued by the dynamic of having 2 really important players like that go through the postseason and maybe not knowing if they're going to be here beyond this postseason.
I think we've had enough of different types of situations, whether it's contractually, whether it's personal, whether it's team-based, and so, that there's no formula, right? There's no recipe, and I don't think, in fact, I know, I can't individually project, is Y related to X, or how is, I'm sorry, I guess the question is I don't really know, but that over time, things get sorted out.
Your core obviously has been here for 3 years, but especially Kachuk talked last night about new blood being important to keep things a little fresh, I guess. Or you brought in new guys this year, right to the deadline. You talk about just what you were beyond talent, obviously, what you're looking for this year and bringing in guys.
Yeah, I think we're not unique in a cap system where teams that have some success get paid. And there's a cap, and there's only so much money. So almost by definition, if you have some success, individuals are going to get rewarded for that success. And then if you can't keep them, there's just you can't. So they move along, and then they have to be replaced. And it's not just replacing goals or hits. It's trying to find people who will fit as part of the team. to be honest, a lot of their ability to fit into the team is because of the team, because of how welcoming those players are, because of how patient the coaches are. And when players come here, Paul sits with them and says, yeah, the first thing you're going to do is make a lot of mistakes, because you can't be as good as you can be if you don't, right? I'm empowering you to try. You have to work, right? And you have to buy in. But come be part of this. And the players are the same. And they welcome people. They allow them to be who they are. And I think it's more than anything else, it's the room that allows that to happen.
I assume you use success as a calling card now, or come here and, like Ekman Larson, reset his career and made a lot of money. Come here, have a good year, and go out if it comes to that?
I've been preaching that for years, and I think it's one of the things that we're all very proud of, is that so many players have been able to come here and have the best years of their career as part of that group. And so for I guess you could call it a recruiting sales pitch on July 1st, it's, listen, come in here. And it's a little bit of a luxury, I have to be honest. Yeah, it's going to be hard. You might have to play with Sasha. But if you suck it up, we really appreciate it. And then look at the people who've come in, and moved on and been able to jumpstart their own careers. And some guys have been able to stay, and other guys who haven't been able to stay at least have been able to keep it going. And so I think that can't be overstated.
Well, Bill, speaking of success, I'm curious to know, when you reflect on your own personal career journey to get to this point, what is the most gratifying factor going from, an agent many years ago to now a very successful general manager?
How lucky I am that people were kind to me and helped me. When I was an agent, whether it was, hockey-based, someone like Rick Dudley or Paul Fenton, or life-based, and the players who supported me as my clients, my partners and staff, Yarmo, who gave me a chance in Columbus. It's a strange one. It's more gratitude than thinking about the success. It's right now, it's really, we're focused on trying to get the job done.
What's on your plate today?
Oh boy, I don't know. I'm gonna have meet with Paul, sort of probably organize our attempt to get organized, although we kind of started last night, and see my family, and then we're right back at it tomorrow. And a lot of the stuff that we do now is logistical, admin. Just try to get ahead of, is there something that we can do to give them the best chance to have success? And are the things that we try to do that will actually impede their ability to do that? So, yeah, stay out of the way.
Is there a significant break if Dallas? When it starts, like we heard Wednesday, I guess.
I think we're hearing all that. Like, I logged on to see, does anyone hear anything? I guess we should call Elliot. I'm teasing. So, yeah, and the break, obviously you get rest. For our team, I think if you recall that Vegas series, people said, "Oh, you had all that time off. It wasn't good." You look back in the first period of Game 1, we were up 1-0, and then the goalie makes an unbelievable save on Cuzzy. We would have been up 2-0. Like, I don't think that hurt it. We were ready. So I think in this instance, given the amount of hockey that we've played in tandem with the number of guys we had at the Four Nations, that rest is a good thing.